In today's life, where the storms of emotions and pressures seem never-ending, have you ever wondered how to maintain your inner peace in every situation, or how to avoid being swept away by the current of negative emotions? Masters of tranquility, the followers of Stoic philosophy, have found the answer, and we will share these valuable lessons with you in today's video. Together, we will embark on an exciting journey where we will explore the top 10 methods to conquer your mind, bringing you unexpected inner peace and strength. Let's dive deep into the world of intersection, where ancient wisdom meets the modern, and discover how you can not only live, but live fully and meaningfully. This is not just a video, it's a journey of self-discovery where you will learn to become the master of your own mind. But before we begin, make sure you watch the entire video today, because each method will lead you to new knowledge to strive for a better life. Principle number 1: the acceptance of what we cannot control. In this ever-changing and uncertain world, understanding and accepting what is beyond our control not only helps us save energy and time, but also reduces anxiety and stress. Stoic philosophers encourage us to focus on what we can control. That is our mind, attitude, and actions. When we learn to distinguish between what can and cannot be controlled, we begin to see life from a new perspective. Instead of expending energy worrying about things that cannot be changed or that do not affect us, we learn to focus on self-improvement and handle challenges within our control more effectively. This not only makes us stronger in facing difficulties, but also helps us develop a sense of inner peace, unaffected by external circumstances. This acceptance also brings significant benefits in personal and professional relationships. In work, when we accept that not every project or decision goes as planned, we learn to adapt and seek creative solutions, instead of sinking into disappointment. In relationships, understanding that we cannot control the emotions or actions of others helps us develop patience, empathy, and effective communication. Let's consider the story of Mike, a project manager who faced project delays due to supply issues. Instead of getting disappointed, he applied this Stoic principle, accepted the situation, and focused on finding a solution. Mike adjusted the project plan and communicated clearly with the client about the delay. His flexibility and acceptance not only helped resolve the issue efficiently, but also built trust with clients and colleagues. Furthermore, this principle helps us develop emotional resilience. When facing failure, challenges, or even success, we learn to stay calm and objectively assess every situation. We no longer let negative emotions dominate us. Instead, we learn to approach every situation with a positive and balanced attitude. In Stoic philosophy, accepting what we cannot control is not just a mere piece of advice, but also a way of life that enables us to approach life calmly, autonomously, and effectively. By applying this principle to our daily lives, we can find inner peace and develop the strength and flexibility to face any situation with confidence. Principle number 2: the practice of indifference to pleasures and pains. Principle number 2 challenges our relationship with the outside world and our sensory experiences, not with indifference or blind indifference, but by opening up a deep space for autonomy and profound understanding of our own emotions. Stoic philosophers urge us not to be swept away by the ups and downs of emotions, but instead to maintain a calm spirit despite life's fluctuations. In the Stoic view of happiness, they not only advise us to renounce, but it is truly a call for reflection and sobriety. They provide profound reminders of how the relentless pursuit of happiness often leads to unintended consequences when we let ourselves be carried away by it excessively. On the other hand, when facing pain and difficulties, Stoic masters not only advise us to stay away, but also encourage us to develop courage and perseverance. They invite us to confront these challenges calmly and courageously, not to avoid them, but to see them as valuable opportunities for personal growth and strengthening the soul, turning suffering into a launchpad for personal growth. The principle of indifference lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. We need to understand that indifference is not indifference. Instead, it is seen as a means to achieve inner peace. For Stoics, indifference means not allowing emotions to be dominated by the ups and downs of life, not being dependent on pleasure and pain. It requires a deep understanding of the true nature of things and events, as well as the ability to control the mind and emotions. Practicing this principle is not always easy. It requires continuous awareness and self-control, an ongoing process of self-discovery. We must learn to perceive and confront our emotions directly, not avoiding or diminishing them, but truly understanding them and from there, gaining control. When facing difficulties and challenges, Stoics will maintain their stance, not letting emotions control their actions and decisions. What is important to remember is not only indifference to joy and sorrow, but also seeking balance, inner harmony. It is about looking at life with an objective perspective, not allowing oneself to be carried away by random emotions. Cultivate a tranquil soul, a sober mind in the face of life's storms. In summary, practicing indifference to joy and sorrow is an important part of Stoic philosophy. This is not just a lesson, but also an inspiration for us to live a more meaningful life, aiming for self-control and happiness from within. It is a powerful reminder of the strength of willpower and the ability to control the emotions of each individual, an ongoing journey of personal development. Principle number 3 deals with emotional. In the journey of seeking inner peace, the third principle shines like a lighthouse, illuminating the path of self-discovery. This principle is not just a guide, but also a profound reminder of the Stoic philosophers about our power in controlling and guiding our emotions. Stoic philosophy views emotions not as enemies to be fought against, but as signals, messages from within that need to be listened to and understood. Every emotion, whether it's sadness or joy, anger or happiness, carries its own lessons and strengths. When we start to perceive emotions through the lens of awareness and understanding, we open the door to changing our personal judgments and beliefs. This is not just about controlling emotions. It's a profound journey of self-understanding, delving into the deep-rooted causes behind each emotional surge. By identifying and changing the judgments behind emotions, we not only free ourselves from the constraints of negativity, but also learn to approach every situation calmly and wisely, Each time we pause, try to take a deep breath and ask ourselves, why do I feel this way? To better understand this, let's turn to the story of Anna, a project manager who had to deal with a key team member unexpectedly leaving the company. Her initial emotions were anger and worry. However, Anna paused, reflected, and realized that her anger stemmed from the fear of not completing the project on time. Instead of letting negative emotions dominate, she transformed them into motivation to find solutions. She and her team quickly restructured the project plan, creating a more efficient work strategy. Through this, Anna not only solved the problem, but also learned the value of managing emotions and being resilient in difficult situations. We are training the power of self-control and self-awareness. Although this process is not easy, it opens up a peaceful space where emotions are no longer the source of instability, but become sources of inspiration and strength. Finally, when we learn to manage our emotions, we not only find inner peace, but also broaden our vision and hearts to the world. In every decision, every word, and every action, we demonstrate not only self-control, but also profound understanding and compassion. This is not only a lesson from Stoicism, but also a lesson from life, a lesson about strength, courage, and peace. Principle number 4, self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, as well as many other philosophical and spiritual traditions. Stoic philosophers believe that understanding oneself is an essential step in deepening one's understanding of their thoughts, emotions, and actions. It emphasizes an honest self-knowledge, from understanding personal values to identifying dreams and life directions. In a world filled with instability and chaos, building a strong foundation of self-knowledge helps us find inner peace. When we understand ourselves, we have the ability to be self-reliant and not be dominated by negative emotions or external influences. As a result, each of us can respond to life actively and mindfully, rather than reacting instinctively or emotionally. To achieve this state of self-knowledge, followers of Stoicism often take time to journal for self-examination and reflection. Through each journal entry and every moment of self-reflection, they gradually gain a better understanding of their strengths, weaknesses, deeply held beliefs, and attitudes toward life. This is not only a process of self-discovery, but also a journey of self-mastery. Consider Jack, an office worker who often feels a balance between work and life. When he explored Stoic philosophy and the principles of self-knowledge, Jack started keeping a daily journal to reflect on his emotions and thoughts. This process helped Jack realize that he truly values time for himself and his family more than material achievements. By applying the principles of self-knowledge to his daily life, Jack gradually reduced the pressure from work, focused on what matters most to him, and thereby found balance, leading to a happier and more meaningful life. Stoic philosophers warn us that the biggest challenge in developing self-knowledge is overcoming bias and the ability to deceive ourselves. This requires courage to face the truth, along with sincerity in every thought and action. Through meditation, critical thinking, and open conversations with others, we can overcome these obstacles, step by step towards genuine self-knowledge. Understanding oneself is not a destination, but a means to continuous transformation and improvement. By understanding ourselves better, we can work to cultivate a stoic mind and nurture virtues such as courage, temperance, wisdom, and justice. Self-knowledge is not only the key to unlocking inner freedom, but also a solid foundation for personal and spiritual growth. When we understand ourselves, we can live a meaningful life, aiming for inner peace and harmony. Principle number 5. The practice of virtue. In Stoic philosophy, the practice of virtue is a core principle that shapes our way of life and actions. Virtue, in the view of the Stoics, is the highest and only good that humans can pursue, not only for personal benefit, but also for the benefit of the community. Stoic philosophy identifies 4 main virtues as the pillars of ethical living. These virtues include justice. Justice not only refers to treating others fairly, but also pertains to the existence of justice and ethics in our judgments and actions. Those who pursue virtue hold a high regard for justice in evaluating, deciding, and interacting with others. Courage. Courage is the ability to face difficulties, fear, and pressures that life presents with patience and steadfastness. This includes the courage to do what is right, protect moral values, and not let fear dictate decisions. Temperance. Temperance requires patience and determination in adhering to ethical principles and values. This involves the ability to control desires and external pressures to adhere to what is right and necessary. Wisdom. Wisdom encompasses not only knowledge, but also the ability to apply that knowledge in daily life. It is the capacity to understand how to do what is right, make wise decisions, and face challenges with insight. These values play a crucial role in building an ethical foundation and help us achieve inner peace and genuine happiness in life. They guide us in how to live and behave in our complex world, benefiting both ourselves and the society around us. The practice of virtue requires continuous self-awareness and ongoing self-improvement. This applies not only in challenging situations, but also in everyday life, where we encounter various challenges and decisions. Virtue not only leads to personal happiness, but also contributes to a just and harmonious society. Especially in the modern world, the practice of virtue in Stoicism becomes more important than ever. Facing pressures, challenges, and uncertainties, a Stoic practitioner strives to uphold their ethical principles, behaving calmly and resolutely. This not only helps them navigate life with meaning, but also serves as an example for those around them. Practicing virtue in Stoicism is not just a moral goal, but also a path to true contentment and happiness. It requires a delicate balance of the 4 core virtues, creating a solid foundation for a meaningful and harmonious life. Principle number 6. Focus on the present. Focusing on the present is necessary and important for us to master our minds and live a more meaningful life. This is a strong reminder that we should live a meaningful and realistic life, not allowing the past, sorrow, or anxiety about the future to take away our enjoyment. When we focus on the present, we have the ability to reduce stress and anxiety. Instead of worrying about what has happened in the past, we learn to recognize and accept events that cannot be changed. This helps us maintain calmness and patience in every situation. Cherishing each present moment is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Stoic philosophers encourage us to immerse ourselves in the present by living authentically in every experience. In doing so, we will see the beauty of life and the value of small moments more clearly. This helps create satisfaction and happiness in daily life. Focusing on the present is not only a principle of Stoic philosophy, but also a powerful method for creating a meaningful and successful life. When we put our minds and maximum focus on the immediate task or task at hand, the result is often a remarkable increase in performance and creativity. So, the question is, how can we effectively focus on the present? Methods such as meditation and mindfulness are useful tools for developing present moment focus. They help our minds become more aware, reduce mental distractions, and promote tranquility. Imagine you are sitting in a lush green garden under the deep blue sky, and you feel the warm sunlight filtering through the leaves. Instead of worrying about work, future plans, or past mistakes, you decide to focus on the present moment. You smell the scent of fresh grass, hear the birds singing, and feel truly alive in that moment. At that moment, you are not under pressure or stress. You are enjoying the peace and happiness of living in the present. Therefore, living more in the present can lead to a reduction in suffering from worrying about the past or the future. This not only improves the quality of our lives, but also helps us make wiser and more ethical decisions. In daily life, try applying the principle of focus on the present by practicing mindfulness, planning systematically, and enjoying each moment. When you do this, you will find life becoming more memorable, and you will know how to enjoy peace and happiness in every moment. Principle number 7, the pursuit of inner peace. In Stoic philosophy, inner peace represents a state of elevated spiritual well-being where our souls find peace and harmony in every circumstance of life. This principle is particularly significant as it guides us on a journey of self-understanding and refinement in facing life. Self-understanding in Stoicism goes beyond simply understanding oneself. It also involves discovering inner values and profound life goals. We gain insight into our own emotions, uncover the true meaning of existence, and shape our personal goals with clarity. Acceptance is another crucial aspect of this principle. We learn to accept changes and difficulties with equanimity. Instead of reacting with resentment or anxiety, we embrace these changes as an integral part of life and engage with them patiently. Simultaneously, we are encouraged to control our emotions in our life's journey. We become masters of our emotions and don't allow them to dictate our decisions and actions. This helps us maintain emotional balance and not be swept away by negative reactions when things don't go as planned. Imagine planning a grand vacation and being extremely excited, but bad weather cancels your plans. Instead of disappointment and anger, you understand that the weather is beyond your control and accept the situation. Rather than worrying about what's lost, you decide to reschedule the vacation for another time or enjoy a peaceful staycation at home. This demonstrates your application of the Stoic principle of the pursuit of inner peace. by accepting an unchangeable situation and not letting emotions rule your decisions. In summary, the pursuit of inner peace is a central pillar of Stoic philosophy. It's not just a simple life goal, it's a passionate journey to self-awareness and true happiness. It encourages us to deeply understand ourselves, seek meaning and peace in life, and cultivate a strong and serene soul. Principle number 8. Positive attitude toward death. In Stoic philosophy, principle number 8 is one of the most important principles that helps us understand and confront one of the unavoidable truths of human life: death. Stoic philosophy views death as an integral part of life, a natural and necessary aspect of human existence. Instead of fearing and worrying about the end, this principle encourages us to see death in a special way, as a part of life. It raises an important question: how can we live a meaningful life when we know that death always lurks at the end of the road? To have a positive attitude towards death, Stoic philosophy advises us to focus on the following points. First, recognize the naturalness of death. This reminds us that death is a natural part of life, something that nobody can avoid. Nobody can live forever, and death is an inevitable aspect that we all must face. Second, avoid fear. Demonstrating a fearless attitude towards death is essential. Fear only increases feelings of anxiety and suffering in life. Instead, Stoics encourage a calm and indifferent mindset when it comes to death. Third, consider death as a part of life. Rather than viewing death as an endpoint, Stoics often see it as a part of life, a journey that we all must go through. This encourages us to enjoy the present moment and live a meaningful life. Fourth, achieve spiritual freedom. By practicing a positive attitude towards death, we can free our minds from anxiety about death and focus on living a meaningful and virtuous life. A positive attitude towards death in Stoic philosophy not only helps us face it calmly, but also fosters a sense of unity with others. We all ultimately face death, and nobody can escape it. This creates empathy and love for those around us. Most importantly, we should remember that a positive attitude towards death helps us live a meaningful and harmonious life in accordance with human nature. Principle number 9. Facing hardships with patience. In Lesson 9, Stoic philosophy conveys the message of patience and calmness in facing difficulties and challenges. This principle is an essential part of Stoic philosophy, bringing encouragement and support to everyday life. According to Stoic philosophy, life is not always easy, and there is no way to control everything. Therefore, we need to accept the reality that there are things we cannot change. This acceptance is not surrender, but an awareness of our limitations. Patience and perseverance are two important qualities in facing difficulties. We need patience to wait for time and determination to not give up on solving the problem. This helps us overcome difficulties calmly and not let ourselves be overwhelmed by excessive pressure. Imagine you are learning a new language, and during the learning process, you encounter difficulties in communication and understanding grammar rules. Instead of giving up, accept that learning a new language can be challenging and takes time. You realize that it's not always easy to understand and use a language fluently. With patience, you continue to learn and practice grammar, try to communicate, and listen to native speakers. You don't let initial mistakes and difficulties demotivate you. Instead, you see them as part of the learning process. Eventually, you find yourself improving in speaking and understanding that language successfully, which helps you maintain an optimistic and determined attitude in learning a new language. Stoic philosophy also encourages facing fear and anxiety courageously. By practicing patience, we can control these emotions and not let them make us anxious about the future. Difficulties can be opportunities for personal growth and inner peace. We need to learn how to overcome challenges to become stronger and wiser in the process. Principle number 10. Seeking happiness in human nature. In the modern world, many people seek happiness by pursuing achievements and material possessions. However, Stoic philosophy offers a different perspective on happiness, one that focuses on the essence of human nature. According to the Stoics, true happiness doesn't reside externally. Instead, we have the ability to find happiness in self-improvement and virtue. This begins with self-awareness, understanding oneself, personal values, and the virtues we want to develop. Furthermore, Stoic philosophy encourages the development of moral virtues such as justice, courage, tolerance, and gratitude. By practicing these virtues and engaging in ethical behavior in social interactions, we contribute to creating a positive environment for happiness. Finding meaning in life and contributing to society is not only an essential part of Stoic philosophy, but also the essence of happiness and contentment in life. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true happiness lies in living a meaningful life and contributing to the community. Let's take the story of Peter, a young man who used to seek happiness through shopping and accumulating luxury goods. He would often shop to indulge himself and feel happy, but after each shopping spree, his happiness would quickly fade away. Peter began to feel empty and lost in life. One day, Peter read about Stoic philosophy regarding seeking happiness in human nature. He understood that true happiness doesn't come from accumulating material possessions. It stems from moral character and meaning in life. He decided to spend time developing gratitude and focusing on helping others. As a result, Peter not only felt happier, but also found meaning in being a better person. Instead of relying on material accumulation, he sought happiness in living righteously and contributing to the community. Everyday life unfolds around us, and gratitude plays a crucial role in helping us find happiness in our daily lives. By being self-aware and appreciating the small things, we can maintain a positive mood and happiness in life, even in the face of challenges and difficulties. Principle number 10 provides profound insight into happiness, encouraging us to seek it from within the essence of human nature. This helps us realize that happiness is not something distant, but an attainable goal through the development of virtue and meaning in life. In this journey, we have explored 10 ways to master the soul with Stoic philosophy. These are precious principles to help us live a valuable life with calmness, wisdom, and patience. Remember that we have had the opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of human nature and how we can experience life with meaning. I want to encourage you not only to listen, but to make Stoic philosophy a part of your daily life. practice becoming a master of the soul, and build a life worth living. If you feel that this video has brought value to you, please help us by clicking the like button, sharing your thoughts in the comments about the principles that impressed you the most. Or comment, "I'm ready," to let us know that you are ready to apply these principles in your life. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to not miss valuable videos on Stoic philosophy and personal development. Sincerely thank you for accompanying us on this journey. See you in the next videos.